Welcome to Reset Unfiltered with Abby. Today's guest is Claire Bosman.
Hi everyone. This is my first time being on a podcast.
Yeah, but she loves the sound of her own voice.
Love the sound of my own voice. So I think we're gonna love this.
We're going to talk about success and what that means being a woman now in your 30s.
Yeah.
How we get there, but there's going to be some funny things, like the fact that during COVID, Claire was running a bit of a bootleggers. So Bosman's Bootleggers was selling illicit alcohol during COVID. I bought red wine from her for what, like 250 rand a bottle?
Yeah, we put a good premium up on that. But yeah, we'll get to that. So Abs and I have actually just been in Stellenbosch witnessing our best friend getting married, which was just so amazing. We all ex-Fatima girls, and yeah, it's so great to see how like everybody's just flourishing in life and everyone's doing so incredibly well.
Also looking great.
Oh my God, looking amazing.
So good. Like, I'm sorry, but you would not say that we are 32.
No,
or
never.
You would, but like a good 32.
No, never. And I mean, obviously, like some of us, we've had a bit of Botox. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah,
so
just to preserve.
Yeah. So it's so great to see.
Wait, have you had Botox? No.
Yeah, I have. Oh. Yeah, but I go like once a year.
Oh.
Yeah, probably once a year. No shame in getting some Botox.
So just enhancing your natural beauty.
100%. Yeah, I think it's like our friends have done so well, and like if you look at where everybody's at in their lives and the things they're doing, it really is just incredible. And
but also like even like with you and like it's just like I feel like it comes very naturally to a lot of us to just like succeed.
Yeah, I think it does. I don't know if it was just our grade at Fatima or if it is just
maybe just the year 1993
yeah,
the year for success.
Or if it is just like South African women in general. Yeah. I mean, obviously I've been in the UK for like 7 years now, and if I compare, I think South African women and maybe women from other nationalities, we are very outgoing. We very much like say what we want. We put ourselves out there.
Which is actually pretty weird because South Africa is quite a conservative country.
It is. I would say we are. We are very conservative. I mean, if you look at, we are quite conservative in terms of, you know, people want to get married at a certain age and settle down and have a family. And like, I think that sometimes women are kind of pigeonholed into that within our culture. But in saying that, when it comes to like our careers and wanting to build something for ourselves, we're not afraid to ask.
Yeah, I also feel I feel like we're very like, and like our friends were always brought up to be like, you can actually do anything, and like
100%.
Always like eye on the prize, like always making it work, like making a plan, like hustling.
I completely agree with you, and I think it's like a lot of us also come from such different dynamic backgrounds, whether it's like divorced families or, you know, a lot of us also
single parent
but
families.
a lot of us also didn't grow up with like
a lot of money,
you know, and
or our parents were like business owners.
Exactly, and I think that kind of propelled us to want to work harder and like make a name for ourselves. But going back to different cultures, you know, being in the UK, I find I am quite a direct person, and I will ask for what I want, and I think it is like within our culture. But I mean, I will sometimes be in situations where people will be like, you're very pushy and you're overly ambitious, and I'm like, I don't think so. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, no.
What,
no,
me?
No, never.
No, pushy me. I think one of my favorite sayings is, you don't ask, you don't get.
100%.
Like, I will always ask, because
100%.
sometimes you've got to ask 2 or 3 times.
Yeah, but also I feel like if a man asks for something,
it's fine.
It's fine. But as soon as a woman does, it's like, she's asking for too much. I'm like, no. It doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
But I think South Africa is really good though with empowering women to an extent. I don't know. What do you think? Because I find. And look, there's studies done on it, on why women in the workplace are maybe seen at like a lower level to men. There are so many studies done on it.
Yeah, but maybe
the UK,
less so in South Africa. I feel like a lot of the workforce in South Africa is female.
No, I know. So, but that's what I'm saying. It's like in South Africa, it very much is empowering women, whereas other parts of the world, I still think like it takes a lot for women to like climb the corporate ladder or to be successful.
Because I don't think there's a pay gap in South Africa.
No. Well, I mean, actually, I don't know.
I'm sure I saw a statistic about it, that there's not really a pay gap in South Africa in terms of female versus male.
Yeah. Well, actually, I don't know that. I mean, if you look at yourself, right? Like, you're now going out on your own thing. You're doing so well. So, I mean, as I said to you yesterday, we met a year ago, and you were like, I want to be full-time content creator, social media influencer, and now here we are, guys.
And here we are, living our best lives. People don't know you.
No.
Tell everyone a bit about what you do, about your road to success.
Yeah, my name is Claire Bosman.
I also barely know.
What? You don't know?
I mean, I do know,
but like you haven't been concentrating. Yeah, so I grew up between Joburg and Durban. My parents got divorced at quite a young age, so I lived in between them. I then moved to Durban and came to Fatima, I think in grade 9. Yeah, and I was living. I
forgot about that.
What do you mean?
I don't know. I just always is in our lives.
Yeah, so moved to Durban, lived with my dad. I was quite like a rebellious kid. I mean, at Fatima, I was always getting into trouble.
Yeah, because your hair was so messy.
My hair was so messy. I didn't give a shit.
But now she has this cunty little bob.
Now I have this cunty little bob.
Your hair was always in a small bun.
It was always in a
small messy bun.
I got buns banned from Fatima. Do you not remember? They changed it in the policy. Like they were like, no more
you.
Because of me. I swear.
Because it was so
That's
messy.
my claim to fame.
It's a good one.
It's a good one. But
no, I feel like I need to insert a picture of Claire at school. Yeah,
I think you do. So yeah, and then I studied at Stellenbosch. I did accounting and finance, and I actually thank my mother for that because she was like, you need to be in a position where you're not relying on a man for money. So
yeah, my mom was also always like that. She was like, always have your own money.
Have your own money.
Always.
Like, and I think it's important. I
Even
really
still to this day, that's like I know a lot of people share their finances, which is cool.
Yeah.
But for me, I've just never done it.
Yeah, so I don't know. I think that's me. Everybody's got their own opinion. And then I moved to the UK in 2018, and I've been in finance there ever since. And yeah, I love it. But I think coming from my background, I mean, my dad, as you know, my dad has a small little surf shop, and we'll think of weird and wacky ways to make money. So, for example, in COVID, my dad bought out his friend's liquor store, and then basically started moonshining and selling liquor to everyone in Umhloti out of our garage. So I became basically his agent and started messaging all my friends promoting the alcohol.
Bosman's bootleggers, and we sold that shit at like 150% premium. It was great. But always hustling. But I think coming from that background, it kind of like pushed me to be like, I want to go out and do more and make a success for myself. But always been like, my parents have done so much for me. I mean, my mom worked 3 jobs just to like get me through school. My dad also like constantly working out of a surf shop to get me through university. So I'll always be grateful for that, you know. And I think that's been the foundations of where I've got to now. I think all of our parents have always been like, I don't know, we're very lucky that they've always like put us first. Like even like with my mom, like she always put me first. Like every little bit of extra money would go towards my school or university or like whatever we couldn't afford. Like she always like made a plan. And I think like that also, like you also always are going to lead by example. So if like that's how your parents are showing you as an example, like that's how you're going to live.
Yeah. And I think for women there's so much pressure. Well, like as a woman you have to be able to do it all. Do you not think like you've got to be an incredible mother, you've got to have your own thing,
you've got to look good,
you've got to be maybe a good wife to your husband or a good partner, you've got to look good. There's all of these social pressures,
so many,
and it's just like I look at that and I'm like, why? Like I always find it so interesting. I want to go back into history and go, why are the social pressures on women. Like I
feel like it's worse now because you like literally like, okay, you have to have it all. You have to be a good wife, a good mom. You have to now be the best, give the best birth. Like you have to be the most successful businesswoman and then still be a good wife and sister or whatever. How honestly are you? And you have to look good.
Yeah.
Like you have to go to gym. You have to now be healthy and into wellness and like it's like too much.
No, it is too much. But I think the key to it is like blocking the outside noise. It's just like kind of saying, we are all in our own lane. We are all out. Everyone's timings are completely different. And I think, and like that's what I love about like the stuff that you do is that you're so real. Which I think is everybody will take on to that. It's like you real, you raw, you so open about things, and people want to see that. You know, they don't want to see like this bullshit like that life is just so good all the time.
Exactly,
because it's not.
Life's fucking hectic, man.
It is hectic.
And if you say like, oh, I don't have any issues and whatever, then that's fine. But like, it's also. It's a phase. Like life can be good and bad at the same time. Like
100%.
Like now I'm living my best life, but it's also like been the hardest year of my life, and like shit's still hard, and like I'm worried about this. I'm worried about like how am I going to make money now? Like don't have a steady salary, so it's like life can be like still so good, but also like hard at the same time.
Yeah, but you got to take. You've got to like then, as I said to you, like take that time for yourself, and I think we all need to do that. Taking a break. Just taking a step back. We don't have to be on the go all the time. But I'm guilty of that. I'm like A-type personality. I need to be on the go. I need to be doing this, and this. But then you burn out, and then you can't bring your best self to your relationships or to your children or to your partner or even in work. You know. So it's good to just take a step back, reset. You know, before you like enter into whatever the next stage or the next goal is in your life.
You kind of did that, which is also super inspiring. So Claire did a bit of a reset.
About 2 years ago, I think I was about 29. I kind of went through this, I don't know what it is, but some say it's like as a woman when you go from 29 to 30, you go through this like crisis where you go, what am I doing with my life? And I think I started to realize I was people pleasing and living for other people, and I was like, you know what, stuff this, I am out. And I quit my job, moved out of my apartment in London, and I was like, I am going to go backpacking through Southeast Asia on my own, completely on my own. I didn't have a return ticket or anything like that. Obviously, I was very, very fortunate to be in a position where I could do that. Like going and taking time off like that also requires you to have some sort of financial backing. So I'm very fortunate that by being in London, I could afford that. But I went to Southeast Asia and met the most incredible people, and I was surfing, relaxing, taking it easy. But I think being on my own for so long made me realize that there's like the only person that you need to prioritize in life. Well, not the only person, but first it needs to be yourself, so that you can come back and give people the better version of you. But when I went traveling, I mean, I had my family and even some of my friends being like, "What, are you crazy? Like you're in a stable job, you're 29, and you're going backpacking like through Asia. Like, what is going on?" And I loved it. It was so incredible meeting people from different countries and like. Just seeing their outlook on life.
Exactly. And sometimes you have to just say enough is enough. Like,
enough
just
is
need
enough.
a break.
You do, and you don't have to, like, obviously, you know, you do need to have money coming into the account because we all need to be able to live, right? But if you are in a position where you are fortunate enough to, you can sustain yourself, there's nothing wrong with taking a break and just taking a step back.
And I feel like for so many of us, we've literally been hustling like our whole 20s, like being like, okay, climb the corporate ladder, climb the corporate ladder. And it's like gotten to a point where you're like, I can't do this until I'm 40. Like you can't just like keep going without literally like crashing.
Exactly. And I mean, maybe our generation is a lot better at being in tune with ourselves. Whereas I find, and I'm not saying like I do find like our parents or even their parents, they're not really in tune with like themselves.
Something I did want to talk to you about was investing, because you were talking about like you were able to take this break because you had some financial backing to fall back on, which is also like I'm able to make this move because I've been saving a lot. And a lot of people on my Instagram often ask me like they're in their 20s and like how do they save, how do they invest, or like they'll be like, how did you buy that bag? And I'm like, well, I save and invest. So I wanted to talk to you because I know you know a lot about that.
Yeah, for sure. So I mean,
and one thing that's so important with being able to be independent as a woman is being able to financially support yourself.
Yeah, when I first started investing, I mean, I think the first realization is understanding that if your cash is just sitting in a bank account and it's not interest bearing, you're actually losing money. So there's this thing called time value of money. I'm not going to give you a breakdown of it now. Look it up. But basically, if you have money sitting in a bank account, what is it worth in 2 to 3 years' time? And if it's not interest bearing, you're effectively losing money on that. So I think even if it's starting with saving, it is opening up an interest-bearing account and putting your money in there. I always say, like, you put away 20% of your salary each month. And then there's a thing in the UK, which I don't know what the equivalent would be here, but it is called a stocks and share ISA. So you can actually find these investing platforms where you put money in and you invest into a fund or you invest into shares, and they can be fully managed, so people can manage that money for you and they take a small fee.
Yes.
Or you can do it yourself. So I do a blend of both.
So I have that where you put money in and then they invest it for you.
Yes, so they'll take a yearly fee on that. But which is minimal. And then you have to kind of look at your risk profile, right? The higher your risk profile. So if you're investing into a riskier portfolio or riskier shares, you're going to get a higher return. But obviously that fluctuates, right? So when you are investing, you kind of have to go in with a long-term view, and you holding that investment, not I'm looking
using
at this
it as like savings to go traveling.
Exactly. And I think
5+ years, right?
But I think it is good to have a diverse portfolio. So put some money in an interest-bearing account so you're liquid, right? If you need to get that cash out, you can. Otherwise, investing in a fund or shares or in what's the investment platform that you use? Citadel. Yeah, I've heard of that. So putting your money there and keeping it and knowing that is going to stay there for 5 years, and then obviously choosing your risk profile. So I always choose a blend of high risk and then medium risk, investing in equity and bonds. And I think it's really, I mean, you can go onto the internet and learn about this, but I think you want to be in a position where when you are sleeping, you're making money, right?
Yeah.
So you've got to keep thinking, where do I put my money that I know it is going to grow? And start small. And the more you learn about it and the more you find out about how the market works with interest rates and inflation, you'll then be able to understand where exactly you put your money. But diversifying your portfolio, I think, is really, really key, especially if you are in the early stages.
I love that because I'm definitely not financially minded. So like even now you saying diversify your portfolio is something that I actively want to start doing, because I've kind of like been like, okay, cool, like there's these investments, I've got savings accounts, but it's almost like I started saving when I first started working. So literally, even if it's whatever, 200 Rand, what do you say, 20%, but even if it's 200 Rand,
it's like 50 Rand, 100
every
Rand,
month,
start small.
As long as it's growing over time, over a long period of time, it's worth it, because you're going to look back and be in 5 years and be like, oh my gosh. And when you get to a position you can put more, then you put more. But like, rather start now. Like I look back and I'm so grateful that I did it when I was a trainee and just starting, and then growing, and then diversifying, then being like, oh no, I don't have the money now, because it's going to be 2 years later. And now you're going to want that that holiday or that break or that handbag or that wedding. And
definitely also look at what are tax efficient structures. I think ensuring that, for example, as I said, I'm more in tune with the UK, but there's certain structures where you get a tax benefit, so you won't be taxed on the income you make for a certain value. Try look into those too, because obviously tax is a big important part, and you need to be able to understand how you're going to get taxed on your investments too, because that's value leakage at the end of the day. So definitely figuring that out.
That's also something that I need to... I think I'm going to make it one of my missions in 2026 is to invest more, learn more about finances, 100%. Investments, because also if you can help other women...
Yeah.
I think that's so important because so many of us literally you leave school and you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Oh, and tax, what the hell?
What is that?
No. Okay, so this is us.
This is us, guys. This has been great. Thanks,
It has been so good.
Oh
I'm going to have to get you back.
You're going to have to get me back.
I'm going to have to get you back because I really want to talk more about money.
I'm keen.
I think it's really important.
I think we should, after this, we should figure out what do people, maybe ask people what do they want to hear, and then we can maybe prep a bit better.
Yes.
And then,
Actually, I'm going to do... Okay, so bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
Wait, let's...